Oh, yeah, mine too.
Okay. Alright guys, last night my phone died, so I had to do another video. So this is part 2, basically picking up where we left off. As you can see, we're in the car right now. We planned on taking our son to the park to play, and it just started raining because you guys know how Florida is. Look, I'm gonna turn the camera around so you guys see the rain. Look at that, it's raining. But yeah, we're in the parking lot right now. We're gonna eat our Chipotle burritos, and after we're done, we're gonna go walk around Target because we're just trying to get some exercise in to send babe into labor, possibly, because now she's 1 day past her due date. So woo, yeah, woo, and at the same time. So like I said last night, we left off at the part where I was talking about my uncle just like screaming, "You gonna communicate with me in my house," or pointing like this in my face, like, "You communicate with me in my house," while I'm literally sitting there trying to talk to him and tell him basically what's going on. Not even what's going on, but I'm trying to tell him like, hey, it's kind of hard for me to communicate everything with you when I don't have the entire thing myself. Like, I was trying to tell him that in between everything. I hope you guys are able to hear me with this rain, how hard it's coming down on the windshield. So
I'm getting wet. I don't even see.
yeah,
No.
pretty Chipotle.
Did you get queso?
It's yeah. Or it's in the burrito.
The Polish queso is terrible.
Yeah.
I never get queso on Chipotle, but Moe's is really good.
So anyways, in the midst of him doing that, I'm still sitting there calm, like trying to say, how am I supposed to do that if I don't have a complete plan? How am I supposed to do that if I haven't had a chance to even think it out? Because like we said in the last video, when you start telling people things that constantly are falling through, you start looking like liars. So I'm telling him like, hey, I don't want to look like I'm lying to you. This is just what's going on. Previously, before that, I had already told him like, you know, a couple different dates that we would be moving out, and those were all the things that fell through. So he was mad or upset about us not being out on those specific dates, and when the dates came around, we weren't out, or I wasn't saying anything to him about it, which that only happened once when I didn't say anything about it, which was the last time when I didn't say anything about what we were doing on a date that we were supposed to be moving out or something. But I didn't give him a specific date either. Like, I told him like a couple days before my birthday, which was June 27th, like a couple days before my birthday, I told him we're probably gonna need a few more weeks to get things going, like, and figure out what we're doing, because everything keeps falling through. And that was that. So, you know, I didn't give an exact specific date. I said July 1st, which I don't even remember saying July 1st, but my plan was to be out of there by the 1st, or by the time the baby was due. We had literally like a day or two before all this happened, before the 4th of July, we had came up with a plan to stay in this extended stay hotel, which you pay monthly, and you know, that was like one of our only options. It gave us like a little studio apartment vibe, and we would have had to make do for there for a few months until we can get on our feet, until Dora can start working as well, and well, working a normal job as well, because Dora's working gig jobs. But our plan is to incorporate normal jobs with gig jobs to get on our feet. But right now, it's like she's pregnant. Right now, we really need each other to look after the children and do all the things that we're trying to do. So you know, to be a little bit easier in a different way once the baby's here. So yeah, that was that. And yeah, he ultimately started saying, I think Dora told him, like, you don't have to yell or you don't have to scream. And then he was just started getting more mad. He was like, if one more person tells me what to do in my house, you guys can get out. And I was like, okay, we're just gonna leave because you don't want us here. Like, you don't make those type of threats, or you don't make those type of you don't say those type of things unless you really mean shit like that. So I was like, okay, we're gonna be gone. It is what it is. And it's like, it just blew up into a whole thing with like us leaving, and it was just hard for me to see my family do something like that towards me and my family, like my new family, my spouse and my son. Like, I've never seen that done really by anybody in my family before, specifically them. And yeah.
Especially knowing they come from where people let them stay with them for years at a time, and they think they're above people.
And then after he did that, of course, we're mad. So that's when we start. I'm not really arguing. I wasn't really arguing, but you know,
I cursed their ass
Dora
out.
was mad. She cursed him out. I was mad. I was just as mad. I'm not like. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was cursing him out too. The shit was stupid. Like, I feel like anybody in our position would have been pissed. So I did what I could. I'm sorry.
Well, my daughter was due in a few days.
Yeah, literally, like, our daughter due in a few days.
My son's crying because they yelling.
People are acting like that. It's just crazy. But yeah, that's ultimately what happened. After we got all our stuff together, took it outside. The police showed up, so apparently they called the police on us. For what reason?
Yeah, like
I have no idea, because
they didn't like. They were scared of me.
I guess they didn't like us.
I cursed their ass out.
Cursing them out as we were packing our shit and leaving, and they felt threatened by a pregnant woman and their nephew.
But they're the ones who.
I'm not even an aggressive person, but I just don't like to be treated like a piece of gum on the ground or on the bottom of somebody's shoe. But you know, they felt threatened enough to call the police. Police showed up, and they even confirmed with us that we were only there for 3 months, while my uncle and his wife were saying we were there for 5 months and whatnot. So the police confirmed that we're not kind of crazy with that. And you know, they didn't really do anything. They talked to us a little bit. We told them we're leaving, we're gonna leave, and just shit like that. Then they went in there and talked to them.
They said legally we don't have to leave.
Yeah, they said legally we don't have to leave, but you don't want to stay anywhere where you're not wanted. So we're like out of there immediately. Like, we don't want to stay anywhere we're not wanted at all, ever. It's very unproductive, counterproductive, and working against what we got going on. So the police go inside and talk to them, and you know, we're just sitting outside. I called my mom to help us move some stuff to Dora's parents' place, because all the stuff that we had in there didn't fit in the car completely. Like, now we've made a way to fit all of our things into the car, but yeah, at the time we didn't really have the room for everything. So my mom came, helped us pick up a couple boxes, and we took everything to Dora's parents' house. Now, people are probably wondering, well, that's your mom and that's Dora's mom or Dora's parents. Why can't you guys stay with them, or why aren't you guys staying with them? But our parents are not in the functional situation as well. Like, that was the whole reason that we were homeless initially. That was the whole reason we lived with my uncle initially. That was the whole reason for a lot of things. And it's not a blame your parents party, but we're just being aware of, okay, cause and effect. Our parents don't have it like this. So we don't have these specific opportunities that some people may have, and it may be normal to them. I can't stay with my mom because all of my other siblings live with my mom in a 2-bedroom duplex, and there's no room for my 3-person, almost 4-person family in there. Same with my spouses, with Dora's parents. You know, their stories are a little different. They also live in a 2-bedroom duplex, but it's completely different than my mom's situation. It's a little bit worse. It's actually a lot worse in different instances. So there's no way we can really live with either of them at all and be comfortable, or just live with them in general. Like, there ain't no way possible. My dad doesn't even live anywhere. My dad lives on the street, so there's no way I could live with my dad. So at the time of us plotting the hotel move where we were gonna stay, we were like, okay, we'll stay here. We'll stay at my uncle's until the babies do. Once you go into labor and all this other stuff, we'll go straight to the hotel room. We won't even have to go back to my uncle's house. And I can get stuff from my uncle's house as we're entering the hotel room, just make it a smooth transition, right? So that happened, and like I said, we didn't even really have a day or two to discuss it amongst ourselves, or like make sure this is a final plan that we're gonna go through with, or anything like that. I had the booking already too. That's another thing. I booked the hotel already for a month starting on July 11th. The date that we did come up with a plan. You know how you book a hotel room and it's basically just reserving it for the date. So I did that ahead of time. That was before all of this stuff even happened with my uncle, before they brought anything up or anything like that. So we had somewhat of a plan that was somewhat for sure, but we had to make sure. So I can't go around telling people this is what I'm doing when I'm still trying to weigh my options. The day that we booked that room is also the day, or it was the day after, I think, moving out of state with Dora's cousin, who extended a hand, who said he'll make accommodations for us, just asking us if we'd be willing to relocate and different things like that. So that was another thing that we ran into. Like, okay, now we got to weigh our options between, do we want to go into this hotel room where we're paying about $700 a week, or do we want to go to New Jersey where your uncle said, or your cousin says he'll make accommodations for us and allow us the space and room to do what we have to do, and somebody that just listens to our situation and kind of understands a bit. So in the midst of discussing that between ourselves, that's when the stuff happened with my uncle, and that's what I was trying to explain to him when he was getting upset. But you know, when people don't take the time to listen or want to listen or understand what you're saying, there's always going to be some type of conflict or confusion or whatever. But that's basically the whole story. After that, bite my burrito. After that, the same night we ended up sleeping in the car in front of Dora's parents' duplex because we had nowhere to go. Other than that, also that same night, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, we ended up going to the hospital because Dora was complaining about her foot hurting really bad all day. So that's another thing we had to acknowledge that same day. And you can see how hard, and it's not an excuse, but you see yourself? You see how hard it is for us to, want to be like, hey, this, or even us getting an opportunity to be like, hey, this is the plan we got going on. Just letting you know when different things keep popping up. It's not maliciously, it's not anything like that. It's just like, we just need a second.
They sure enough don't communicate with us when every little thing pop up.
Yeah, so it's just like we just needed a second to get ourselves together. Like we're still telling people, like, we just need a second. We get a second.
Nobody wants to get a second, period. Everybody got their own agendas.
Yeah, so we took Dora to the hospital. She was in there from like 5 in the morning to
2
in the afternoon, 1 and 2 in the afternoon, which was great. She got some rest. Her foot checked out great. Nothing really wrong with it. It was just swollen and hurting. Baby's still in her. What else? While Dora was in the hospital, after a few hours of us being there, me and my son, we went and got a tire change because my front tires were bald. That's another thing. Like, people want me to acknowledge and communicate things with them where I'm like, the stuff that I'm going through, I have to acknowledge first. Like, I didn't even get a chance the whole time to acknowledge my tires. Matter of fact, I did know my tires were bald, but I'm like, I have to do things step by step. I can't just do things when sometimes when they happen, or sometimes when other people want me to get them done. I can't just do it. I have to do things step by step in our process. So, us being put out or leaving was just another initiative for me to have to go get these tires. So I had to go get the tires from the used shop. They ended up giving me one brand new tire for a used price, which was great. Shout out to the tire shop on 22nd Street in Tampa, right behind Popeye's Chicken. I don't know the name of them, but yeah, they hooked me up. Other than that, what else do we do? That night, we checked into a hotel room, and we've been in the hotel room ever since. So about the past 5-6 days, we've been in the hotel room just waiting patiently for baby girl, or impatiently. And working. I got in my first car accident like 2 nights ago, which was crazy to me. Luckily I'm okay. I was doing Uber at the time. I had a passenger in the back seat, and a car literally swerved from the other lane and hit me, like sideswiped this car. So the damage isn't really bad, which is really good, because that would be horrible for our situation right now. Very bad. But I'm still able to work and do what I gotta do, and I'm very thankful for that. And yeah, it's been a very, very, very... You looking at the camera? What you doing? You got chips in your pants?
He's eating chips everywhere.
But yeah, it's been a very, very long, tiring journey for us since about 1.5 years ago. So we've been doing a lot. And I don't know, we're just out here trying to acknowledge ourselves and live life acknowledging ourselves, because that's the only way we're going to get out of our situation. Today is our last day in the hotel room. We're probably going to go back into the car to save some more money. The money that we need to get to Jersey. Like, we have enough, bare minimum enough to get to Jersey, but we want to make sure we're able to do what we have to do. I've also, after all this stuff took place, while we were in the hotel room, called emergency housing They said they didn't have any availability at all for emergency housing, even if we're homeless. So that's another thing. People are saying there's options out here. There's other options.
They're not as easy as you
They're
think.
not as easy as you may think, for real. Like,
they take a long time.
They are
what do people do in between the time that they're waiting?
Yeah.
You think that they're gonna survive if that's the case? Barely. Especially people without money or don't know about the access to money or have it. Very. You know, people talk really bad about these gig jobs, but I'm one person who is very, very grateful and thankful for them. Because if we didn't have these jobs, like I see certain people, even down to my parents, you'd be really asked out in a lot of ways. So as much as other people in their journey think it's bullshit, for our journey, these gig jobs have been life changers. Not life savers, life changers. And we'll always be grateful for them.
So yeah, guys, that's basically the story. Everything else, you guys will see on my channel. Till then, see you later. Stay tuned. Thank you guys for being positive and uplifting most of the time and being on this journey with us. And it's not over.
Hey, don't throw your chips
anytime soon.
Don't throw the chips down.
Later, we're gonna go walk around Target. Cousin. Yeah, answer.
Yeah, which is tired.
Doris' cousin calling.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey. Nothing much, still waiting on a child.
Still waiting.
Literally. I've been trying to do more walking and stuff to get her to come down and come out.
Yeah, I had a feeling when it's going to be on the exact date.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
That's what happened with my daughter. They told me, I think like the end of like February 27th or something like that. And then my brother was saying, I bet you she's going to be born on my birthday. It turns out that's exactly what happened. She was born on March 9th. They got the same birthday.
Yeah, see, yeah.
My brother, I got 4 brothers, but my oldest brother is my father's child, biological child. So my father, first biological child, and my firstborn is born on the same day.
Oh, okay. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
Yeah, that's how it was with my son. He was born a week. I think he was born. Was it a week or a few days later?
I think he was born like a week later.
Yeah, I think he was due on May 29th. He came on the 4th of June.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I was calling to check up on y'all then. What the doctor say then? Was just like any day now or something? Or he gave you a different date?
Well, I have to see my doctor tomorrow, but as far as like my actual dates, they have me scheduled for induction on the 17th if I don't go into labor, but so far nothing really, just waiting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, let me know what's up then, alright?
No, yeah, I got you.
Hey. Okay, have a good day.
You too, man.
Alright.
That was Doris' cousin calling Willie at the end of the live. So he's calling to check up on us, and
I'm so traumatized. I hate people check up on me. Like, I literally have to get used to people.
Yeah.
It's normal and common courtesy, and it's a great way to keep connection with people when you check up on them.
Yeah.
But I can't handle it because I'm used to people calling me to try to not check up on me, but check me. And probe and see what information they can get to use against me. So I'm working on it.
Okay. I'll be uploading later. Damn. That burrito is spicy.
Honestly, Moe's is my favorite. I don't really like Chipotle's burritos. They don't taste like anything.
I'm not anywhere near as full as if I would have ate a Moe's burrito though. That's real. Are you full? See? I'm nowhere near as full as if I would have ate a Moe's burrito, but that's a good thing in a way. Because I don't feel like feeling miserable right now.
But I don't feel miserable when I eat Moe's. I just feel like full. Like, I actually don't. I like the burritos. So I eat it, and I feel like I'm good for the day. I can really move around and, like, do stuff and not worry about eating for a while.
Yeah.
And I'll even be like, well, why am I not hungry? Oh, I had a Moe's burrito. Their queso chole is terrible. Like, I just want to spit.
Yeah, my mouth is...
Yeah, Chipotle is definitely overhyped.
Yeah. But alright. That's it, guys. See you later. Thank you for tuning in.